AwareAbility Technologies is a high-technology firm located in Columbus, Ohio, the Silicon Valley of the Midwest. Founded in 2016, AwareAbility is advancing radiation technologies in a number of areas, including X-ray applications, photovoltaic batteries, and radiation detectors.
We started as part of a Rev 1 sponsored tech startup. And as part of that, we tried to articulate some vision of what kind of a business venture we could conceive of. And that really is the start of the company. We put together a couple of ideas that seemed to make sense. They seemed to have a place in the market, and that's how we got started. One of those early technologies had to do with a miniature power source. Related to it, we were able to get some additional research on detection, radiation detection, and that had some value for us to do some research and maybe improve some of the core technology that we could use for the power source as well as radiation detection. And most recently, we've extended the research to include some X-ray technologies. We have what I believe are the no-brainer nuclear engineering expertise, the PhDs, but we also have people that know how to run a business. We have people that understand computer technology. So I think the well-rounded team is certainly one of our strengths.
My position with the company is as a material and technology expert. In addition to having about 25-year career as a research scientist at NIST, I've consulted with international companies for about 10 years, as well as taught and mentored students at all academic levels across the U.S. and internationally. I've authored a dozen patents and worked as principal investigator on dozens of government-funded research projects. So nominally, I bring pretty broad experience to the position, helping clients solve problems.
I primarily am a research analyst would be the best way to describe it. I work in the lab particularly for the analysis kit, and then I also work on simulations with our computer technologies where we do computer simulations of neutron depth profiling, where you shoot a neutron beam onto a target. I work with creating those simulations and changing the parameters to look for advancements that we might be able to make in order to make a better semiconductor.
For a small company like us to do something meaningful can be really hard. You don't have the resources. Being able to leverage, and in our case, collaboration with The Ohio State University is one example. Other engineering collaborations that we've been able to establish allow us to do that.
My name is Chris Ball, and I am a research scientist at the Electroscience Laboratory at The Ohio State University, and I am also currently serving as the director of the laboratory. So AwareAbility came to the Electroscience Laboratory, and they were looking for someone who understood how communication systems worked. So I grabbed one of my colleagues and we had a meeting with Vasil about the idea of X-ray communications, which is something that none of us here had ever heard of or even conceived of. But Vasil explained the relationship he had with NASA and the fact that they were interested in using this miniature X-ray system that NASA had developed for a variety of purposes. One of the applications that NASA had suggested is X-ray communications.
Receive the data, and now we will begin transmitting from the transmitting computer.
So I am a research assistant professor of nuclear engineering within the Department of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering at OSU. My very first project with AAT was on a nuclear voltaic device. It's called nuclear battery project. And from there on, our journey started. We collaborated on multiple different projects. Our most recent project is a DARPA project. We completed phase 1 successfully, and now we are in phase 2. And this is our current active research project.
Over the course of the years, we've been able to obtain funding to have laboratory capabilities. So we have a laboratory with a host of laboratory equipment. So we can conduct research in various areas, including working with radioactive materials. We have, with our collaboration through The Ohio State University, access to additional laboratory facilities that have fairly expensive equipment. So we have capabilities to do clean rooms, semiconductor fabrication, metal 3D printing, and use of various high-energy nuclear and X-ray beams for various research efforts.
There are just so many, companies out there trying to make it in the world, in the marketplace. But I'd say, AwareAbility has proven its technology prowess in several ways already. The ability to consistently win government contracts is a very strong one. I mean, that one's very tangible and is a financial resource for us. Our access to top manufacturing and test facilities, including a research reactor, is another strong case, which is fairly unique. There aren't many companies that have the ability to use, neutron beams, which are non-destructive for analyzing materials. And then the use of an internationally recognized simulation software for modeling, optimization, and developing devices, and also our continuous involvement, with students, graduate students, postdoc, students and professors, is an important source of innovation as well too. So bringing all that expertise and questioning is, really a growth atmosphere, and I think that stands out against a lot of companies.
Again, one of the things that's really exciting working with a company like AwareAbility is the fact that they are so interested in something so out there and forward-looking and exciting that I don't think that you would have many other companies, particularly larger companies, invest in something like that. And that's one of the great things, is that a lot of times small businesses can be in partnership with universities to work on these crazy things. And that's the kind of thing you can dream about when you're a small business and when you're a university, and working together. You can work on these crazy things, because every once in a while a crazy thing turns into something real and something huge.
For more information about AwareAbility technologies, our products and services, or to discuss your specific application for our wide range of technologies, please contact us.